but we often want to change the mirror thinking that the reflection's going to change. It doesn't work. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Kaylin Bowman. Be fiercely authentic, live your truth. So today I want to discuss why it's so important that we stop reacting to our own projections. So what I mean by that is that in life, things that happen to us, whether we like them or not, are just mirroring what's already going on within us. So when we think about things from that perspective, it's kind of funny to react to what we've created, right? But so many of us do. And as we begin to raise our level of awareness and our consciousness, essentially, we begin to see how we play such a vital role in our experiences. And in fact, we play the only role in our experience, because what is happening in this physical world is a direct relation of our belief systems, right? So what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about the world, is going to be projected out. But when we have things that happen in our physical experience that we don't really like, what we do is we react or we get triggered, right? When I look back at some of the things that I used to get triggered by, it's funny now to look at these situations and go, I created that, right? Like I had a belief that created what happened, and then I essentially became triggered by my own creation. And so when we can start to step back and see how we play such a major role in what we're creating, we can then stop reacting to what's going on and we can start responding. Because at any point in time, we can begin to create a new experience. Now, this is where we often go wrong though, and this is sort of the 3D thinking, where something happens outside of us and we try to change it outside of us, right? So let's say, for instance, someone does something that we don't like. And so what is a normal human reaction? We react and we get upset. We try to tell them that they should do this, they should do that. But that is the 3D way of thinking, right? Because really what's actually happening is the people that are showing up in our lives, or the events that are showing up in our lives, are mirroring something back to us. So you want to begin to look at your experience and go, what is this showing me? And then go back into here, right, your internal space, and fix the core belief that's creating something outside of you that you don't really like. And I'll give you guys an example of this. So let's say you have a pattern of every time you're relating to other people, you find that they disrespect you or don't show up for you. So the normal human reaction to that would be to be upset or sad or try to convince people to respect you. But have you guys tried that before? Doesn't work so well, right? So what you have to do is go back to yourself and say, in what way am I disrespecting myself? In what way am I not showing up for myself? And as you begin to heal those core aspects of yourself, guess what? The mirror changes, right? But we often want to change the mirror thinking that the reflection's going to change. It doesn't work. As always, and at the core of all spiritual teachings, is coming back to the self. Because everything starts here. Everything starts within. And that's why I've created my self-love course. So that course is called Become a Love Magnet. And I actually have specifically a worksheet and a whole module on triggers. Because I know it's so common to experience triggers, but we have to understand what they're showing us and where they're actually coming from. Right? So if you guys are interested in doing that internal work, the link is going to be down below. But this is also another great reason why we shouldn't take life and things so seriously, right? Sometimes we get so caught up in this illusion that we're living, that we're experiencing, that we become so reactive to everything. And that's why people go into states of depression. People are miserable. People have, no hope for the future. But really what's happening is people are having an intense emotional reaction to their own projections. And I know people might think, I don't create everything. And I'll say this, someone who has been through a lot of traumatic experiences, before I spiritually evolved, I would have said, no, I wasn't responsible for any of those things. But actually, now evolving and seeing things, yes, I 100% was responsible for all of those things. And the great thing about understanding that you're responsible for the things that happen is that you can change them. Now, I do want to say this. It's not to say that you should blame yourself for abuse and things like that, okay? That's not what I mean. From a higher perspective, these things do happen to wake us up, to show us things, but I don't want you to get into that experience where you're blaming yourself for things like that. This is about experiences in your life where maybe you do get easily triggered, or experiences where you feel like you're stuck and you're not moving forward. Having this perspective of realizing that you don't have to react so so intensely to things that you're creating through your own beliefs or thought patterns. And one thing I've really learned is that the universe really does want to show up for us, but it can really only show up for us when we show up for ourselves, right? When we honor ourselves, when we love ourselves, when we step into our divine nature, that's when the universe goes, here you go. When we begin to align with the truth of who we are as not only physical beings, but spiritual beings as well, we begin to understand the role that these experiences around us actually play. And then we're not becoming the experience, if that makes sense, right? We're not actually so much in the experience, but from the higher perspective, we're looking at it. So let's say, for instance, here's the 3D world down here at the bottom of the hill, and we're at the top of the hill or the mountain looking at the experience, right? So there's a difference there, there's space. And that only comes from understanding our divine nature. So it's not just about the law of attraction in that our thoughts create. It goes much deeper than that. And it goes to the belief in the understanding that we are everything. There's a sense of unity here. And the only reason why we're feeling separate and the only reason why we're reacting to our own projections is because we're so immersed in the fear, the 3D world of illusion. And so as we begin to wake up and as we begin to move beyond thought, we begin to see why everything's happening, and thus we don't have to react to what we're creating. So if you guys are still a little bit confused about this, I do discuss all of this in my self-love course, which is going to be listed down below. But this is the purpose of the channel, so I'll be doing many videos on this about how to connect to your divine truth, how to step into your power, how to start creating from a place of purpose rather than from the ego, okay? So if you guys are interested, definitely subscribe if you have not. Give this video a like. Go down below and leave a comment if you have any questions. But other than that, I will see you guys very soon. I'm sending you absolute love and light. Take care.